Hello there everybody, welcome back to Classic Game Reviews. Today we're reviewing Give My Regards to Broad Street. Now, Give My Regards to Broad Street is a 1985 computer game released for the ZX Spectrum and the Commodore 64 and was developed by Argus Press Software. It is based off of the 1984 film released on October 23rd, 1984, which was produced by MPL Communications and distributed by 20th Century Fox. Give My Regards to Broad Street is the first and only film by Paul McCartney. With a budget of $9 million, it only made $1.4 million in the box office, and was a critical and a financial failure. I would reckon that this game was also a financial failure, though we do know it is, at least in retrospect, a commercial failure. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past 70 years, I'll tell you who Paul McCartney is. Paul McCartney is an English musician who is most well known for his time in the English rock band between 1960 and 1970 known as the Beatles. They were very popular during the mid to late 1960s as part of a large phenomenon known as Beatlemania, which lasted between 1963 with the release of their song I Wanna Hold Your Hand and 1966, about a year after the release of their second ever feature film known as Help. The Beatles are considered one of the greatest bands in history, sometimes considered the greatest. Many of their later on albums are considered some of the best albums in history. Some have been selected to be considered the best albums in history. They changed the way music was created and completely revolutionized the genre. Before the Beatles, bands released single after single after single. Albums were released typically years after they'd already signed on to a record label. But the Beatles were the ones who came up with the idea of releasing album after album after album, instead of just releasing a bunch of dozen singles. Of course, they also started coming up with the idea of doing concept albums too, with their album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which of course contains many of their hits. Now, Paul McCartney was the bassist for the band, and though he wasn't originally up until 1961, he was their rhythm guitarist. But after Stuart Sutcliffe left the band, the band's original bassist, he took up the order as bassist. And many of the band's hits was written by both Paul McCartney and his best friend, John Lennon. This was known as the Lennon-McCartney Partnership, as many of these songs are credited to this group as those who are the main focal matter point of the Beatles. Now, eventually the Beatles dissolved in 1970 as the group broke up and went their separate ways. After this, Paul McCartney founded the band known as Wings. Wings lasted for another 10 years, and their most famous album, Band on the Run, which also contains their most famous song, also called Band on the Run. Now, when this movie released, Paul McCartney was in his 40s now, and so of course he wanted to make his own movie, of course, like you do when you're thinking midlife crisis. Now, Paul McCartney was no stranger to acting. He already appeared in 3 fictionalized variations of himself. 1964 smash hit film A Hard Day's Night, the first ever Beatles feature film. Its sequel, another smash hit, which was Help. The first two, of course, all had respective albums and respective songs, which were top hitters on the charts. And then there was the critically panned The Magical Mystery Tour, though the album was of. And of course, he did technically appear in another film afterwards, which of course would be Yellow Submarine, Redal's Lesser, and of course Let It Be, which was a documentary. And these films which he starred in were very well known, and are the way most people remember the Beatles nowadays for these fictionalized variations of them. Well, of course, he wanted to make something similar to that, and he tried to, but everybody hated him, Give My Regards to Broad Street, because it was bad. It wasn't good. One reviewer called it a closest thing to a non-movie ever. That's how bad it was. The plot it's like hardly there. The plot's not really there much. It's kind of confusing what's exactly going on. It has a bunch of tradition of old Beatles songs, the film also features Ringo Starr, the band's second drummer, and the band's fourth drummer actually. Yeah, because before there was Ringo Starr, there was Pete Best, and before there was Pete Best, there was a couple other guys. There was like Norman Chapman, Tommy Moore, if I'm correct. One of them may even the bassist actually. Anyways, but yeah. But he didn't want to do any covers of Beatles songs. But anyways, so they made this big game. Now, is it as bad as the movie? It probably is. But we're gonna see if Give My Regards to Broad Street, the video game, is just as bad as its movie. Let's go.
Alright, folks, so here we are. This is Game Regards the Broad Street, so let's start the game. Alright, first of all, we have this annoying sound going on. It's like it's annoying, it's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre chainsaw noise in my previous episode. That annoying noise, it's irritating. You gotta next to it. So I'm just turn it off and try to maneuver around these streets because you can't just stop or anything. You can't stop. You gotta go through. You gotta try to change direction while driving. And it's not as easy as it seems in real life, because even in real life that'd be easy, because when you're trying to drive, you gotta go through all of these different positions. Straight forward, like an angle, and then another way. And trying to go through one way. It's like watch. But that was a little bit easier because it's on the early Pap watch this now. You see, you gotta go through all these. You can't stop it, and if you try to stop it, you just speed up. And so we're gonna try to go through here, and you keep crashing into things, and it's kind of hard to kind of hard to figure out which way your car is going, like which way the car's positioned. It's difficult to do that. And I don't know, man. It's difficult, and the controls are kind of difficult too, because N is what you use to change direction. A is how you move. Like, who made these directions? Well, yet again, this is the ZX Spectrum version. I couldn't get the Commodore 64 version to work. So yeah. So we gotta pick up different members of our band. They recorded the album because it got stolen. But yeah, that was a dream. So is Paul McCartney sleeping again in a car ride or something like that? I don't know. Alright, come on. You're trying to get through here now. You can't stop. You gotta just keep going, or else you crash. And so just keep going as straight as we can without having to change directions at all. But you do kind of do sometimes now. Yeah. So let's try to go down. Okay, not as difficult. Okay, it's a little bit easier, but you gotta do this. Every now and then you have to do something like that. And again, how come you can't stop? Because in real life, you can stop a car, and yeah. Now if we go down this highway now, man, I thought that was a highway. And like I said, how the heck are you supposed to know anywhere where you're going? And I can't figure out where these people are supposed to be at. Cause like, I don't know. It's like Notting Hill. Okay, where the heck is Notting Hill at? Where's? Okay, oh, so I figured out now. But how do you know where each street is at? You just gotta drive around, try to get to a different street. You got Warren Street, this guy's at Notting Hill. How do we know where Notting Hill's at? Just gotta keep driving and hope to eventually come across it. And we're used to now. Seriously, like, you just gotta keep moving, hoping you'll figure it out. I think you got like a time limit. I think. Look at the time. Time's counting down now. Time's counting up now. He's out. So I'm gonna elephant. I doubt that's where she is, an elephant. So we're in Warren Street again. How do you know where to go to Elephant? Because we don't know where that is. So like, dude, what the heck? Lady, what the heck? We're in Russell Square now. I don't know, maybe, I think you need a manual to figure out where you're supposed to be. Yeah, you need a manual, which I think is it was the 80s, and I don't have a manual, but still, it should have been had this sort of situation come out. You know, I'm just gonna keep driving into things, crashing. See what happens. You don't see it because I limited it to where to peripheral vision, but every time I crash into something, there's like a flash of red. You guys don't see the flash of red though. It's out of here, guys. Yeah, I see it, but you guys don't see the flash of red. Anyways, I'm just gonna give my final opinion on the game. So
Alright, so that was Give My Regards to Broad Street. Now, what do I give it? Well, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. That's it, really. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. I would have given it a 2, but I'm giving it a 3 because it's something made by Paul McCartney. That's got an automatic bump in the scoring system. You don't like it? Well, it's my show. I can do whatever I want. But yeah, it's not that great, really. I mean, it's not much to really offer to say. You heard what I was talking about back in early on in the video, but yeah, it's not that great, really. Really, just play. I mean, if you're looking for something Beatles related video game wise, just play the Beatles Rock Band. That's better than this. And if you're looking for another Beatles movie, don't watch it. Give My Regards to Broad Street. Watch Hard Day's Night. Or heck, watch Help, it's in color. A lot of people don't like black and white movies. Hard Day's Night's in black and white. Just watch Help. It says you like, if you only want to watch color movies in color. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say, really, about it. Nothing good to say about it. Of course, it could be worse, really. I mean, you really why it's not a 0 because it's not E.T. the video game. Yeah, and it's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which I haven't posted that video yet. I have it. I got to get around to posting that video. But anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and ring a bell so you get notified every time I make a new video. Share this video with your friends, share this channel with your friends, because, yeah, and I'll make a new video soon enough, probably like tomorrow, or who knows. And don't watch the movie, don't play the game. Watch something better, and play something better. That's all I gotta say. This is Real Classic Game Reviews. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.